Okay, we have a very special treat coming up for you next. Yeah, woohoo is right. We have a spoken word artist who's about to come to the stage and delight you all. She grew up, well, first of all, I should let you know that she's a 2011 graduate of the Making Connections program. Yeah, kind of a big deal. She's a poet, a force for change, and a true inspiration. She grew up in Seattle and is the daughter of hardworking immigrant parents who have spent their lives laboring long hours to provide for their children. She is the first female of her family not only to graduate high school, but also to attend and graduate from college. She is warm-hearted with a hilarious sense of humor. She has a natural gift for poetry, as you'll witness in a moment, and she uses that poetry to inspire others to be reflective and to speak their truth. And in that way, she is a catalyst for future leaders to find their voices through writing. She honors her truth by giving back to the community that helped shape her. She volunteers as a mentor and tutor to the Making Connections students and serves as a steadfast advocate for our Making Connections program. An aspiring lawyer, she's worked on diversity and inclusion initiatives at a major law firm and currently works as a legal assistant at a personal injury firm. In the near future, she hopes to publish a book of short poems, and I'm sure we'll all buy it when she does. And her poems will honor the most influential women in her life: her mother, her grandmother, and our Senate. Please give a very warm welcome to the stage, Sloan Logman.
Thank you. I could hear its footsteps approaching my curb, the sounds of it forcefully knocking on my door. I shut my blinds, made sure that my locks were secure. I got a mental home security system installed. I put a flashing red sign on my window letting it know that it's not welcome. Yet it came howling like a werewolf during a full moon. Like a thief in the night, it invited itself where it was not wanted. It came for me like a monster under a 3-year-old's bed. It left me in a cold sweat, like the worst nightmare you could ever imagine. It came wearing a name tag, dressed in the most beautiful gown I'd ever laid eyes on. It introduced itself to me in a voice so calm, it was almost angelic. "Hi, Salwan," it said. "I am failure. I've come to make you doubt yourself. The raging currents of the universe have aligned so that we can meet and fall in love like the blue and white Nile. I've come a long way to meet you. I've been waiting for the perfect time. You must not let me crush you, Habibti. Promise me, you will not let me crush you." Failure took me on the wildest ride I've ever been on. It was a mind-boggling, gut-wrenching, confidence-killing, tear-jerking, soul-crushing, emotionally manipulative experience that I never asked to be a part of. It left my stomach in knots. It took my beautiful smile and stitched my mouth shut until there was no beauty left at all. It took the light from my eyes and replaced it with a blank stare. It took my words and my laughter and left me as quiet as a mouse. Not even a whisper parted my lips. I was so confused. When I met failure, it had been so lovely. It came from afar to introduce itself to me. It even said its intention was not to crush me. You heard it, didn't you? It said that it loved me. Did it come to take my smile, or did I take my own? Did it take the light from my eyes, or did I let it? I sat on a bench for hours, lost in my thoughts and fears, until I felt the warmth of my thoughts building lakes beneath my eye sockets and slowly turning them into tears. I cried enough to forget my worries in this life and the next. I cried until my eyes were dry and I had no more tears left. And when I stopped, I realized it had been years since I wept. How incredible it felt to let it all out and relieve what had felt like centuries of built-up stress. And to top it all off, it was spring. And the sun was still shining and the world was still moving. The earth was so green, flowers around me were blooming. So verily, with every hardship, there is ease. Verily, with every hardship, there is ease. I thought failure came to crush me, but because of it, my heart had never felt more pleased. If failure comes to you, do not be afraid. Hold on tight. Accept the process. Embrace that shit with all your might. And it will always give you more than it's taken. Do not let it swallow you whole. Do you hear me? It does not deserve you. Do not let it consume you. You are greater than your biggest failure. And remember, even flowers, with all their beauty, lose their petals when seasons change. You are a bud, afraid of change. Even you will blossom when seasons rearrange. Thank you, Making Connections, for helping me overcome my failures.
Keep it going for Sloan Logman.